I believe it was the Kings Royal, maybe 2019. Speculating,
but I got my guy. Josh here with the Dirtboard Jesters podcast, hydrating before the Kings Royal gets here. I got my guy Ryan here hanging out with me. Ryan's on here because Ryan and I go to the Kings Royal. Ryan's been there quite a few times. We have a blast. We always run into each other there, and that's, if I remember correctly, the first time we ran into each other was at Eldora at the Kings Royal.
I believe it was the Kings Royal, maybe 2019. Speculating,
but we're getting on here to try and just give out some advice, share some of the stuff that we've learned over the course of the years. We've all had kind of different paths on how we got there. I don't know, but I guess first things first, starting out with a first timer. If it's your first time to Eldora for the Kings Royal,
going down to the pits on Thursday or Friday is a must, for sure. I kind of make a point to do it once over the weekend. For my thing is hot laps, qualifying, maybe the first or second heat race, and then I'm usually probably in my seat by the end of a couple heat races, so that I don't miss the rest of the heat races, and I don't miss the B, the C feature and all that stuff. But
yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm lucky enough, like you and I talked, we get in Tuesday nights. We get in there Tuesday night, we don't leave till Sunday for the most part. And we'll go, we have tickets for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But we don't buy tickets for Wednesday, because typically there's only a few of us that can make it really Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
So we won't buy any tickets for Wednesday, so we get pit passes, and that's what we'll do. So like you're saying, we'll go down there and catch everything, and then once the heat races start, then we go grab a seat somewhere, because everything's fairly open. Like you said, Saturday, especially, it seemed like last year to me was the busiest Kings Royal that I can recall.
Yeah, Saturday was pretty packed.
There was easily, no, they said it was new record. I don't think they offered out the number.
Did they ever?
Well, I think the capacity there is like 22,000.
Is that excluding hillsides, I assume?
Well, I wonder if that's part of the reason why they don't announce the number, because they're over capacity. But
that's probably a good point.
Yeah, that's not a bad. I mean, it's not a bad suggestion if you're gonna try to go to Kings Royal Week, because now, I mean, it used to be, for the longest time, it was 2 nights.
Right, my first year.
And then they bumped it to 3, and then they bumped it to 4, and then they're like, we can do 4.
Yeah. I think they could probably do without the Wednesday, to be honest with you, but in terms of the attendance in the crowd, they don't get a lot of draw in, but
yeah. No, I don't know that you're wrong there. I don't mind it, because
yeah, it works out good for me.
I'm there Tuesday, so if you're gonna show me 4 straight days of racing after that, sign me up.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Just because it's crazy busy. Last year, I think we brought a cooler in and just went up to the bar before anything really started and loaded it up and got our concessions, and that was because we didn't want to stand in line forever. So Saturday is definitely wild.
Yeah, and I would say on Saturday in general, we probably eat dinner at the camper right before we go in, so that's not a necessary requirement to getting inside, because yeah, you're right, it gets crowded in those lines on that. It's interesting now with the Thursday night being a big money race, that kind of feels like Thursday, Saturday are the big nights, and Friday is less crowded, less prestigious, whatever you want to say, but the spectacle. Kings Royal Week is where it's at. say back to what you were saying. Other like top 3 things. Would I recommend going to the pits is definitely in there. I would suggest to anybody that's never been, that's interested in gear, that find some time during the day, go in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and 3 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever. Walk through concessionaires row of all the cool stuff that you can get, all the teams, all of it. And do all that stuff. Do a track walk before the place gets real crowded.
Yeah. Yeah, and, if you're going to, really, if you're going to Kings Royal, you're going to Kings Royal for Saturday, right? So, like you pointed out, you can, is it going to be crowded once the racing starts? But, like you're saying, you can go in early, and you can kind of take things in and get a feel for it. Because the spectacle is there. Getting all the drivers out there on the stage, thrown, and then obviously whoever wins the $175,000 being crowned king. It's just something you got to experience. And I didn't really mention when we were talking about pits, because you got to get in. You have a spot when you're in the pits watching. You have a spot that you'd like to go.
Yeah, I actually have 2, I would say. I would say, for me, my favorite spot, it's kind of like for 2 different reasons. Favorite spot for laps of qualifying for me is right in the middle of 1 and 2, so that I can see them on the scoreboard, on the video board. But you get that sensation of them diving down into 1, like coming right down against the wall. Wind going by your face and all that stuff. But to me, that's the first time I ever did that. This is the coolest thing I've ever done in a sporting event.
Yep.
And there's that one. But then the other one that's pretty neat is if you're going to be there for the heat race itself, to be like right there at the chalk line in 4, because then you get all presumably 8 or 10 cars that are lining it up all at the same time, and it's ridiculous.
Well, like you said, depending on how the track is, definitely at the beginning, if you can get over there in 1 and 2, you can see them on the screen, like you pointed out. I like to go if they're running up against the wall in 3 and 4. I like to go over there and get right in the middle of 3 and 4. They're so close that fence wasn't there, you can reach out.
Yeah, that's what I like about same reason, like 1 and 2, like if the bottom is tacky enough for them to have grip, then same thing. It feels like they're an arm's length away.
It's wild. It's wild. And it's loud. And I'm not a guy, like, in the stands, in part because I can't hear. But I'm not the guy in the stands that wears the earplugs. That's never been my thing, because I don't know. Probably in part because I can't hear as well as most people. And it doesn't affect me as much. But when you go down in the pits, it's well worth the $1 if they're still.
Oh, for earplugs? Yeah, no, that's good advice. That's good advice.
Beers are not $2.
Yeah, for my shop at home, I just go buy whatever it is, a little carton of Lowe's of earplugs, whatever they cost.
Yep.
I usually have one of those in my car or in my bag when I'm at Eldora.
Yeah, you need it. If you're in the pits up against the wall, you need it.
Sure. I actually usually do, and this could be like another, I don't know if it's a top, but it's a recommendation. It's something I like doing is I carry, the headphones that cover your ears instead of using earplugs. But I bring a cheapo AM/FM radio, and I listen to the PA, even when I'm down there against the wall, because then I can hear what's happening. You can hear Johnny, or you can hear, it used to be Blake Anderson as the track announcer, but you can hear what's going on, and I like it. I like
you
being able
mentioned
to hear it.
Because I have always thought about that, and what I need to do is I need to put it in my bag right now, because I always thinking about it, and then I never take it.
Yeah.
just a little radio, and you can, like you said, you can listen to it. It definitely helps because when you get out there, especially, it can get dusty. It's Ohio, right? That's always the joke. It can get dusty, and at some points, especially where you're sitting and where the car's riding, who is that? It's hard to
Yeah, I mean that's good advice for that reason. I don't know. I just my reason is really easy. The first couple of years I went, as I mentioned to you before we got started, my first year was 2017. I can dive into the story of my first year sometime later if you want, but I didn't have that stuff. I just had earplugs. Sometime, I think it was August of that same year or the next year, one or the other, I scored 4 free tickets to the NASCAR race in Michigan, and we got scanners for the race. And it just makes it so much better.
Yeah.
Because you get the thrill of being there and smelling the smells like you do outdoor, the smell of the ethanol, the popcorn, all the good stuff. But then you can also hear the radio broadcast that tells you what in the world's going on when you may not know why did somebody pull off the track? Well, you don't know. You're not going to hear it until the feature's over because it's too damn loud.
That's a really good point because you can get guys, like I said, depending on where you're sitting, you get a car that stalls out or something and they're up against the inside wall, you might not see them from where you're sitting. Why the hell's there a yellow flag?
Right.
You're going to have a pretty good idea if you've got some ears. So that's a good. I don't know that we thought about that until this conversation, but that's a very good point.
I mean, ever since that NASCAR race, and then every year after that, I bring headphones. I also have a little right on Amazon or go to Walmart. It's just a little splitter, so that whoever's with me, if they so desire, can listen to the PA system as well.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do it, and I always think about it, and then I get to the track, and you know what I did? I didn't bring it. So.
Yeah, it's on my. I'm a person who likes to list, and it's on my list for King's Royal every year is to make sure I
do make a list of things to take. I'm sure that there have been times I've left things off the list. Confident every time, specifically the rate, because I've never taken it.
We typically sit, as you know, in the areas where you bring a chair, not in the grandstand. Last year, or the year before, I left my chair at home. I had bum one off somebody.
Yeah.
It didn't have stuff over. Man, it was hard. It was a tough day.
So the first timers, I guess, we talked about a few different things, but kind of going off that, where to sit. I gotta say, I think the main grandstands is where you want to sit your first time.
That's interesting. Like under the roof?
Well, see, I was there up against the center. I don't even know what that little building is there. Like where the
press box or whatnot.
Yeah, it's the area that's below this, but it's enclosed. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's in there, you're aware. And if you go to Eldor and go to the main grandstand, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like the air gets trapped there. Like it's nice to be undercover in case it rains, because then guess what? You don't have to go anywhere. But to me, it's middle of July. It's almost always hot, and the air just does not move undercover up towards the top. Now you could be like at the edge of the cover, and I think you'd be all right, or even out in the open. If it rains, like bars right there, people are probably going to get up anyways.
Right.
I just think the main grandstand higher up is ideal because then you can see the majority of the track, where when you get low you can't really see on the back stretch. But the main grandstand to me is kind of where to set for a first timer, just to get that experience.
I get that. I've never actually sat there for a race, to be honest. I might have sat there for 8 guys, 6 guys, something like that. Not laps, just to sit there. I don't know. For me, I would give a 2-part opinion on where I would tell a first timer to go.
That's fun.
One would be if you're a family. I would try to get one of the concrete pads somewhere in 1 and 2 because there's a little more room if you're a family. If you're just a single person or maybe a couple, 3 guys, I might even suggest just do GA and wander around. You know, like in the bleachers and wander around wherever you like. In other words, if it's your first time here, experiment.
Check out some different
perspectives. Like one of my things that I like to do at some point during the night is, if there's room and I'm not in somebody's way, is to go climb the very top of the grandstand somewhere, just kind of see the whole thing while it's happening.
Yeah.
You can't easily do that on a Saturday night, but you can do it on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, usually.
Yeah, that's very true. And I'm not a fan of sitting in turn 3 because 9 times out of 10, the dust is going to be just destroying you there.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the cars come into 3 on the backstretch is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're hauling down.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to watch them coming down the barrel and then just ripping that car to the left. It's pretty cool to see him going into 3 there.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much where we are on Saturday, just because it's the only place we can get whatever we are, 6 people together for now.
I don't know if it's just that time of year. The wind must just blow that way, because it seems like almost every year.
I can tell you that it's been like that in May as well.
Okay. All right.
Let's race 2.
Fair enough. I find myself in 1 and 4 most of the time.
Yeah, I like what you're saying though. It's cool. It's a good view.
Oh yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
Anything else that we could think of for first timers? That was, I think,
let's
probably
see,
more than 3, but that's all right.
We've covered where to sit. Covered sitting at the not sitting, but getting there early for the whatever the gear, the souvenir row activity.
Yep. Well, and you can get in there and if you get a pit pass, you can kind of go walk around and might be able to chit chat with some folks before they really start getting after it.
Yeah.
But you know what we didn't talk about?
What's that?
What are you going to get at the concession stand?
Well, that's a funny thing. So I have only bought maybe a hot dog at the Eldora concession stand. It might be blasphemous because I know the pizza burger is supposedly the best thing on earth, but my must-have every single week, every year I go, or every single event I go to, one night, there is a independent of Eldora Speedway vendor that sits at the top of turn 1 that does vinegar fries and all kinds of stuff, but I go there for the fried bologna sandwich.
Oh.
At least once, every time. It's my thing.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
My thing.
Well, I mean, like you're saying, King's Royal Saturday night is busy, but as you explained there, the vendors, not only with the driver's stuff, but with the food as well, you can find them outside of turn 1, and then you can go over to turn 4, and it's going to be full over there too.
Yeah.
I enjoy the pizza burger tremendously. I will say last year there was a problem with it. I don't know what the problem was, but this year it's back on point. That being said, you go to the main concession stand and you get the chicken wings.
Yeah.
Don't go to the turn 4 concession and get the Hunt Brothers garbage wings. Don't do that. Because they ain't the same. You go to the main grandstand and you get the chicken wings. And while you're there, you might as well get a pizza. Good thing is they've got $3 beers as well. Used to be $2.
Yeah, $3 beers. Yeah, it is what it is.
And you got
still in bad.
No, I mean it is what it is. And you have to go to the bar.
Yes, that was where I was getting ready to go. It's like, if you're going to go to the main grandstand and you're going to stand in line for the wings, you might as well go to just a little ways down and get yourself at least one toilet water for the experience.
Yes.
And
it's
then,
delicious.
man, I think it might have been you actually, who a handful of years ago sent me the so-called recipe. Never actually made it at home, but
All right. Yep. Yeah, my buddy still uses it, and typically some of that stuff's hard to find in certain spots, though. If I had to go with one thing, I'm going with chicken wings. Pizza Burger's not far behind. Cheese balls are right there. The pepper jack cheese balls, and then you got to get toilet water.
Yeah, you got to. Unless
also,
for some reason you don't drink, you gotta hit the toilet water. You know, I suppose if you're giving advice to people who are first timers along the lines of beverages, it's worth noting that bringing your own soft-sided cooler in, which I have a backpack cooler, which works out like a charm, holds at least a 12-pack, probably holds about 18. It just gets kind of heavy. But anyway, it's cool because this is one of the things that's always blown me away from the beginning. It's like I bring in a cooler, you fill it full of beer, and then you're nice enough to give me a couple big scoops of ice. And you just like haul around a case of beer while you walk around the racetrack. It blows my mind that this is a normal thing. As a person who also goes to other sporting events, you know, a Reds game or a basketball game, it's like you can't do that anywhere else. It's so damn
no. And just on that note, can you bring a cooler in? Yes. You cannot bring glass in, and you cannot bring alcohol in. And I can tell you from experience, it will check. And then you will have to have somebody run your beer back because they will not let you take it in.
Yeah, I usually bring in a bottle or two of water, depending on how hot it is, and maybe a couple cans of Mountain Dew or whatever. But in general, it's empty until it gets beer in it.
Yeah, and for that matter, you could throw, if you're at camp grilling up hamburgers, you can wrap those sandwiches up. Take a bag of chips, throw it in the cooler, take it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, so you can really make the experience as cheap as you would like. You're there. And especially if it's your first time, you have to go in the section, you have to get it. But if you're there with things well, you've done it multiple times, you still have to go to the concession. Always talk. It's just part of the experience. Those are all good points. I feel like the first time we're going to bleed into a lot of the other stuff that we want to touch on. But it's all relevant.
Yeah.
I guess moving from that to a first timer, coming or going, stay. Now, you and I have different opinions as far as how this worked out. So you sometimes can't make it there till like Saturday or Friday and things like that. So, and I mean, can you go and hang out and leave? They've made leaving the track, by the way, and getting out of the parking lots. Yep, they started shutting stuff off, only allowing you to go one direction. But they made like 118 because I was parked at Eldora Village.
Okay.
They made 118 all southbound.
Oh, so they kind of have on either side of, what is that, North Star Fort Laramie Road, southbound flow, northbound flow, that kind of thing? Yep. That's brilliant.
And you can drive in both lanes.
Yeah.
And then they have it coned off down the road to where you either have to make a left-hand turn or continue straight.
That's fantastic. No, I haven't done a single night type of thing. Well, since I've been coming to Kings Royal, so 7 or 8 years, I've never done the single night thing. But that's good to know because traffic is a mess on Saturday night.
It is, which is part of the reason why we started camping there, because we were camping at St. Mary's, and that's a 35-minute drive.
Oh, you were doing the state park thing?
That's why we picked
it.
Okay.
But it was pain in the butt because, you know, you and everybody else is trying to get back to their cars to leave.
Right.
And so the first time we started camping at the track,
still qualifying?
I was like, oh, this is a hell of a lot nicer.
Man, it's
I jumped in the camper, took a shower, came back out, sat in my chair and drank a beer, and watched everybody trying to get out.
So the other things that we were talking about earlier is
Why?
before we started recording, you and I were talking about
I am sorry.
what you do during the day.
Oh, you're good.
I guess
Just
I would
making
say,
sure.
and you had mentioned you kind of hang out at the somewhere around the track at your campsite, somebody else's campsite and whatnot. For those that have never been, I kind of go to. We got a group of. It depends on the day, but somewhere between 3 of us and 6 of us, and we generally tend to go to a bar somewhere, especially if it's hot. Bar that has air conditioning at the peak of the day until maybe 4 o'clock, something like that. Some of my group likes to golf, and so they will get up and set a early morning tee time on Thursday or Friday and go play golf. To date, I have yet to do that. I might do it this year, and I might not. We'll see.
Well, there's, like you pointed out, as far as bars or restaurants are concerned, I mean, you go, I don't know, it's less than 10 minutes south to Ansonia in the whistle stop, or you go north 5 minutes maybe to the wagon wheel.
Yeah.
And if you continue north past that, another 5 minutes, you're in St. Henry. And you could hit up the St. Henry nightclub.
We did that a couple years ago. That was good.
Close to the track is Burt's, which I hadn't been there.
Burt's?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Gosh, I think 2 years ago was the first time I went in there.
Burt's.
It's in New Weston. It's like, it's like not even 5 minutes from the track. And
not a shortage of options for that kind of thing.
It's like a general store.
Oh.
Like it's like a grocery / general store, and they've got different types of thing there, and legit like meat that you can pick up, and a bunch of candy my kid loves, and so that's close. That's close by. Muller Brew Barn is like 20 minutes or so to the east-ish.
I think that Muller Brew Barn is a fantastic place. I remember going there. So Robert and I went there one year. It might have even been for Let's Race 2. I'm not 100% sure. But we went there. It was shortly after it opened, so it was 17, 18, somewhere in there. Anyway, it's evolved substantially since that time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got a menu. They've got all kinds of different beer. Back then, it was like you could show up there and get hot pretzels and fried cheese balls and beer. There wasn't any pizza and wings and burgers, and I don't even know what else they got on there.
Yeah, well, and they've expanded too. They've got like 2 or 3 other locations.
Yeah, I was at one of them last week in Troy. I went to the one in Troy at random.
Troy
is awesome.
If you got time to kill, Troy's a pretty cool city, and it's, I don't know, hour you think? Hour from Eldora? Troy's their downtown is really cool.
It is.
You got Old Scratch there, Old Scratch Pizza. You got Muller Brew Barn there. You got a coffee shop. Agave and Rye, but they got really good tacos. And if you go there, you have to get macaroni and cheese beignets.
Checking out Bart's here on the Google really quick.
Oh, all right.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, well, now you know. You got to check it out.
Yeah.
Also, go up to Lake Salina is there, and that's probably 25 minutes.
25 minutes. We went to St. Road. I can't remember what it's called. In Montezuma, there is a town called Montezuma on the south side. And there's a place called Them's Landing, which is a restaurant. St. Road, there's a place.
No, you're good. You're good.
We went there a couple years ago. No, last year. One of my buddy's uncles who lives in Wapakoneta, and so that was kind of the halfway point. It's next to Ben's, and it's a little dive bar.
It's just on the south side.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of this damn restaurant.
Well, but not far from Montezuma. You could go west to Coldwater, and they've got Tailspring Tailspin Brewery there.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Fishmo's is in St. Henry. Camp Farm Market, which I'm not sure if it's still theirs or not, off of 127. It's like a Marathon gas station, but if you go in, it used to be like full of a bunch of different crafts and stuff. It's still got things there to check out. The Moose, if you're a member of the Moose, there's one up there on Lake St. Mary's. Lake Rat Brewing is up there in Salina, and about 45 minutes to Myers Tavern in Botkins or Sour Mugs Tavern in West Milton. Got to shout out Tim there, the Sour Mugs. And 50 minutes to the Neil Armstrong Museum in Great Old Wapakoneta.
Yeah, probably 45.
Okay.
Probably 45. I'm going to be there one of these days in the next King's Royal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Quite a bit to do within an hour.
Right. That's what I mean. That's kind of where I was going to go next.
And I didn't even mention Greenville.
Speaking of that place, I haven't been to it. There's like this tap room in Greenville. I've been trying to bug everybody to go to.
Sure Shot.
Sure Shot, yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that owns the Whistle Stop. Same guy that owns the
Yep.
Andy. And my buddy Todd.
Yeah.
Is giving that place high praise.
Well, now they put a game room at Sure Shot. Well, there's actually, I'm glad you put this out. I think I mentioned it on podcast Monday, but Sure Shot Tap House is doing a bus ride from Eldora to Sure Shot and back, $50. I'm not sure of the time frame. It sounds like you can kind of check out the downtown time. They're going to hook people up with some goodies, and obviously you can go into Sure Shot, drink, play some games, check out the other stores that are in the area. So I know that's something that they're doing currently, trying to fill up. I believe they did it for drink. I think they're going to Kings Royal, and I think they're going to do it for local. So that's a way to check it out if you want to drive. But lots of stuff.
Yeah. It is a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff you can do within an hour. When I get to the track Tuesday night, if I can just stay there and sleep till Sunday, I'm okay.
Look, I like our occasional excursion away from the track to go to wherever to grab a lunch or grab beers or whatever.
Yep.
Something about the small town / country side bars, these little dive bars.
Well, I'm not even gonna dine out your stuff.
No. I like these places. And there's a couple of places that are even further out that anyway, yeah, dude, that's funny to say for a racetrack that's truly in the middle of nowhere.
Yes. Yeah.
He's one of the people's movies that we bring along or never been that I try to get to go. Like, listen, as long as you aren't bothering somebody, you can't do anything to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, you can do whatever you want, as long as you aren't bothering somebody else. You're not doing something stupid in front of the sheriff when he comes by his golf cart.
Yeah. Because they're out there. Yeah. I can go out there. It's a little hidden. I think they're there pretty much all the time. Which,
yeah, good thing that you like me have not drawn their attention.
well, and I think the problem in the past is coming up listening to people's campers and campsites and stuff. It seems to hurt. That's a good thing. Cut back on that. But there are hotels you could find out. You know, I talked about camping at Lake St. Mary's. You're obviously going to camp at the track this year in some fashion. Once we started camping at the track, I said, this is good.
It is.
Because it's just, you're never in a rush.
Nope.
You can hang out, play games, drink beer, grill out. And if you're not paying attention to the clock and you start hearing the cars running, not a big deal. You're already there.
I agree. Eldora for the Kings Royal was the first time I had ever camped in a race. hard to believe how much racing I watch now. It's the only way to go. Almost the only way to go. If you had a way to have like a charter bus to drop you off at the racetrack 2 hours before the race or 3 hours before the race and take you home, maybe that's good. But other than that, at the track is the place to be.
And kind of expanding on that, we get there too. Me and my buddy Steven, we made it a habit to, last year we watched the Brad Doon Classic at the campsite. And then we proceeded to walk the campgrounds, which is fairly large.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't think that walk ended till like 3:30 in the morning. Now we came back to camp because when you ran out, you had to go back, right? So we would go back, and at one point, unbeknownst to us, Justin Whittle was walking his dog at like 2 a.m. And then we didn't realize until like, I don't even know if it was the next day or the day after, like watching the big screen, like, hey, that guy in the fire suit, we were standing there talking to him the other night. And we ran into some people that were looking for their campsite, and I'm pretty sure they weren't, they were not heading in the right direction because they were a bit inebriated. The good thing was they offered free beer, so
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times you walk around and all of a sudden you just start having a conversation with folks, whether they're walking or they're hanging out at their campsite, and you just walk up and start shooting the shit with people. That's probably one of the cool things about camping at the track.
Yeah, it is. It is. So I think it'd be fun to talk about a couple, I don't know, favorite Eldora stories, if you will. If you could keep them short.
Yeah, well, let me
try. I'm not very good at it, but
let me finish this thought on camping, and then we'll move into that. So,
yeah,
in my opinion, generators and gas tanks are a must because it's usually not comfortable at night.
no.
Porta Clean pumps water, and they empty out your tank. I think it's $50 for each of those services.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, so those are good services. I mean, they got showers there if you don't have that ability. I think they're $7 or $8 maybe up by the track.
Mm-hmm.
I think really 1 through 5, you're going to have pretty solid ground there if you're concerned about maybe your weight and if the weather's kind of iffy. I know there was a year, a handful of years ago maybe, where some folks got stuck in Eldora Village because of the rain.
Oh, really? Wow.
And speedy camping and parking is over there, and then you got BFE that's kind of catty corner, which isn't very big, and it looks like that's fairly sturdy ground. Outside of Eldora Village, I think a lot of the camping spots are pretty solid ground, if that's anything that you would be concerned about.
I never thought of that. We camp in Lot 4, and I don't know, the guys that I camp with picked out the spot a long time ago because it's a little bit of the higher ground in case you get a gully washer, which, let's be honest, hasn't happened in July at Eldora in a long time, but...
Yeah. Well, and they got the main lot there, which is pretty intimate, not very big, by the main entrance for Eldora. There's not a ton of sites there. There's also camping inside Turn 1, but that's kind of a pain in the neck. It is the most expensive camping there, and there are time constraints on when you can come and go, if I remember right. So
I wouldn't want to mess with that personally.
All things to think about. If that's something you obviously aren't going to be able to do this year, but if something you're thinking about, you go this year and you have a blast, which you will.
Yeah.
If you're trying to go next year and you're trying to go and camp, you got to get ahead of the game and get on top of that as quick as possible.
I would add one thing to your Turn 1 commentary, which is bonus is that the odds of you camping next to a handful of the racers with big coaches is high. Maybe that makes it worth it, but otherwise,
yeah,
I don't know if they're going to want to talk to you, but
I mean, sure.
They're there.
So, wrapping up the camping part, I guess you wanted to talk about some stories. I mean, I kind of shared one of mine, so I'll let you go ahead and share.
I mean, I really just have two that I would offer up. One is my first King's Royal. I was at work on a Friday. Robert called me and he said, I got a spare ticket. Somebody bailed on me or they're sick or whatever it was. And he calls me and I'm like, there's no way I can make it there in time to get to the feature. Or, I'm sorry, not in time to get there for anything besides the feature by the time I get off work and go home and pack up and drive halfway across the state and all that kind of stuff. So I said, I can't. I said, if you got one for tomorrow, count me in. He's like, well, I do. I'll see you tomorrow. So I did. And at that point in my life, I was training for a half marathon. So I got up in the morning. I ran 5 miles. I literally drank 2 liters of water in the car on the way. I show up at the whistle stop to meet these guys for lunch. And we did shots. Because that's what you should do to start your day before you eat lunch after you ran 5 miles. And the long story short is I went from that to being a rookie who didn't know what he was doing, and I drank some IPAs. And before you knew it, I have no idea what happened during the race. And I know that Donnie Schatz won, and I couldn't tell you what else happened. I was in prime shape. Prime shape.
Well, I'm glad you shared the story at the whistle stop, because you said that and you think back a few years ago. We were at the whistle stop. Father-in-law pulls out his harmonica and wanted to serenade everyone around. Unfortunately, my father-in-law does not know how to play the harmonica.
Oh,
so, needless to say, the response was not well received.
Yeah, I'm imagining not. But the moral to the story in my first King's Royal is that from that day forward, anytime I come to Eldora, it is no IPAs, whenever possible, no shots, and strictly domestic light beer, Busch Light, Coors Light, that kind of thing. Because you live to fight another day, you start getting into that 8% IPA and shots, it might be real hurt the next day.
Well, plus Donnie passes his cars and we gotta go see Todd after the race. Do some shots now.
Yeah.
It's a party.
And it was a party and it was a lesson learned. It's kind of funny when you're watching sprint car racing, but the party is marathon, not a sprint.
Yes.
So,
Well, and I don't know if you remember this or not. Before they switched to 4 days and 3 days, they had the track for the Wednesday night. They had a band from the floor. But it was one of the coolest experiences I had there. Because they only had a few lights on in the main grandstand area, but you could walk out there and set the bleachers. And they only had like the one light on where the media center is in the infield. For the most part, the rest of the track was dark. There was some ambient lights to kind of make things out. And that's something I think that was set in the stands. Really, for the most part, it's quiet. Because the band was off over by the bar that was before the chest. There was a bar before.
yeah.
They were set up over by the fans.
Okay.
That was a really cool experience that I had. There's always stories to be made there. Friends to be made.
Absolutely.
And I mean, as long as you're like, I'm not always of the opinion like, I'll hang out and chat with anybody unless you're an asshole. I don't have time for it.
No, there's not too much of that.
There's not too much. You can really walk around and chit chat with a lot of folks. It's a good time.
Yeah, what's really neat is the number of people that come from very long distances to be there, really close by. I can lead into that with the other experience that I had. And this, I almost want to say, because honestly, that's how you and I met. Just chatting about racing on social media. Chat people up, we're going to go to the race. Because search the hashtags, search the whatever. We did that, and we met. I don't know if I ever even told you about this, but Robert was on Twitter, say maybe Tuesday before King's Royal, which was back in the 3-day event. 3-day limit. And anyway, the guy's name is Matt Duncan. Matt Harris from Knoxville, Iowa. His family is family that for many moons has been the track folks at Knoxville Speedway, Knoxville Racing. And anyway, they were coming to the first Kings Royal group, the guys from Knoxville, Iowa. They were like trying to shout out anybody that's interested in kind of like sharing some craft beer. They're going to bring some from Iowa, you bring some from Ohio, and we'll eat and hang out. So we did. It was just a ball. Hey, learn about how they prep the track at Knoxville, what goes into it. And then just meet guys that are race fans that are from somewhere else that share their experiences. So I would never do that.
Oh, yeah. Because you're
You know,
going
I met
to
those guys, I met you and Todd, it's
Yep. You never know who you're going to run into,
a
and
good time.
it's always something that, like I said, leaves you with a story. So,
Yeah, good memories. Definitely.
great. I can't wait for less than a week away. It's going to be a blast. But wrapping it up.
Yeah.
I'm going to recap 2023. Donnie Schatz, Mike Black, Brett Martin second, David Gravel third, Sheldon Hodgkill fourth, and Kyle Larson would round up the top 5. I'm going to let you pick for 2024, but on that premise, you think Donnie wins again. That gives Donnie 7 Kings Royals. Tying who?
Yeah.
King. Steve King. For the
Thought
most.
about that. I never thought that you could connect the dots that
Donnie's.
Yeah.
If anybody's got a good shot at winning it, it's Donnie. Now, some guys here lately, Logan Schumacher had 3 wins in a week, and he hadn't had a podium all season. That's got to be. That's got to be.
Yeah.
Rico's good there. Gravel's fast there. Larson is Larson. I'm going to say this because I don't know that I necessarily have a clear pick. Sunshine's been good, by the way. He's been good. I mean, I don't think you can count out Mr. Consistency, Brad Sweet, either.
Yeah.
All of that being said, we recapped 2023. We're looking to 2024 in the Kings Royal. I don't know about you. I've been saying this for quite a while, and I think a lot of us are on the same page. I want to see Sheldon or Rico win it, just so we can see the sun come up Sunday.
I want to see Sheldon win the Kings Royal so bad, just because he's the guy that I root for the most. And you remember this a couple years ago in Jack's farewell season when he led, like, you know, he got the pole by virtue of winning his heat race, and I don't think I'll ever win that race that bad. It was so cool. I just think to myself, if Sheldon could manage to pull it off, that place all for bonkers, and it would be so fun.
That is my
That's what I hope. And what do I actually think will happen? If I were going to pick, I would probably pick Gravel, because he's really fast this year, or Brad Sweet, or Larson. Probably one of those 3.
I mean, I don't know that, like I said, I don't know that I've got somebody that's clear cut. Like, I think this guy's going to win. Like I mentioned, Donnie Schatz. I mean, he's looked pretty solid this year. And we know when he's at Eldora, we know when the crown's on him. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But Sheldon winning would just be that place and even Rico wouldn't be on the same level necessarily, but it would be very
Yep. I'm with you, man. I think that those two guys are a different level in terms of the
And you know, somebody that I didn't mention that's not fair, Brent Martin. I mean, we won the historical big one and the Kings Royal at the same time.
It's true.
those guys with their all got a shot. I don't know if I'm gonna pick one, but I think we have to. I think we got to wrap this up. Guys. I think we have to pick someone to win this year's Kings Row.
I was pressed to pick one. I would pick two. Because of the speed.
Big Gravel's faster than Roy. There's no denying it.
They don't always seem to do real well when it comes to the format, but they got the speed. So
He's got the speed there. That's why he holds the fastest lap there.
right.
I don't know. I don't think it's a bad pick. I just don't know why. I just feel like that. I don't want to pick one. I want to see Shelton.
Same. I do.
I think Donnie wins 7.
You never know. I'm not going to argue with you. That would also be, because of the history, it would be a pretty epic moment.
If you haven't been to the Kings Royal, you got to get to the Kings Royal. If you're a sprint car fan, a dirt racing fan, you can't miss it. Leaving on this note, we ran them out of Busch Light Friday and Saturday night last year. We got to run them out of Busch Light again.
Sounds
So,
like a good.
Ryan, thanks for coming on.
He's mad.
Welcome to the Dirt Court Jesters Podcast, your home for dirt track racing across the country and right here in the Ohio Valley. On episode 24, Kings Royal Week is here, and we talk with the driver of the Ashford Motorsports 4X, Bradley Ashford. I hope you guys are ready to get dirty. This week in dirt racing history, we're going back to July 18th of 1998 in Eldora Speedway for the 15th annual Kings Royal. Brad Doty would make a lap in the Coors Light number 18 in Eldora 10 years to the day after his career-ending crash in the opening laps of the 1988 Kings Royal. And the wild child, Jack Hodenshield, would win his third Kings Royal. Sammy Swindell would finish in second, and Steve Kinzer in third. What a podium.
Let me talk to you.
This week's talking points, want to start out with Bobby Allen taken to X to let everyone know why Logan and Jacob weren't racing. Obviously, we're going back a week when, July 4th week, when a lot of folks had off. Bobby would say that the team wanted to break before hitting the big races, so kind of cool to see the old guy coming out and letting everybody know what was up. On July 7th, Jack Crawford would report that Ricky Thornton Jr. and SSI Motorsports have parted ways. I don't know what to make of this. You guys know I'm more of a sprint car guy, but definitely enjoy watching the late models. I couldn't believe it. Obviously, none of you could believe it as well. Blake Dow, Washboard Abs, 72 on X, points out that this was equivalent to Gravel or Sweet losing their ride mid-season. Folks smarter than me said it was equivalent to Steve Kinzer getting canned by Carl in the middle of 1987. I think that year the King won 46 races. Kenny Wallace would jump in on this conversation, explaining that dirt late model racing has become big money and became what it didn't want to be when it started. And he said dirt late model racing is now NASCAR. On July 9th, it was announced that Hudson O'Neal was taking over the SSI seat, and on July 10th, it was announced that RTJ was joining Forward Motorsports and will be driving the 114 for the next few weeks. Thanks to a Lucas Oil on the late model rainout, Ricky Thornton Jr. would jump in a midget on the USAC Speedway. RTJ finished ninth in his second. We're going to wrap up this segment by saying, guys, using their cars as weapons is beyond childish, and the punishment must be significant moving forward. We talk about safety all the time. This is something that can be controlled. It's ridiculous, and if you can't be safe with your car when you have the ability to do so, you don't need to be at the track. Tracks and series must work together to park those who think this is acceptable for a significant.
Acknowledge me.
This week's race recap. July 7th, Brush Creek, 10,000 to win for late models honoring Jackie Boggs. Connor Ferguson would get the win. Josh Rice from 16th to 2nd. And Tyler Carpenter would round out the podium. Fairmont Speedway had XR Super Series with Ryan Gustin to get the win. Brent Larson in 2nd and Tad Popsill in 3rd. Selinsgrove PSV Week, night number 10, the finale. Danny Dietrich, flag to flag, would come away with the win. Anthony Macri in 2nd. Floyd Wagman Jr. would round out the podium. Popstot in the Summer Nationals, the Valpo American Late Model Ironman Series was also there. And Tyler Herb would get the win. Tanner Wilson as well in 2nd. And Rodney Melton would round out the top 3. July 8th, Lincoln Speedway in Illinois, Flow Racing Night in America. Bobby Pierce with the win. Brandon Shepard in 2nd. Jason Baker in 3rd. Fairmont Raceway was going to have the XR Super Series, but they were rained out on July 9th. Red River Raceway, Zach Milton and Jason Persley continues to win. Zach Don in 2nd, Justin Brink in 3rd. Lake County Fair Speedway was going to have XR Super Series, but they got rained out. Shady Grove Speedway was going to have the Summer Nationals, but they were rained out July 10th. Todd Sauce will get the win. Buddy Hillford in 2nd. Henderson Axel in 3rd. Mitchell County for the Chadwick Game Memorial. And July 11th, 34 Raceway and Lucas Oil late models. Devin Moran dominates 2 to win. Hudson Lee in second, Dalton Wilson in third. Not a single caution in this race. Went by fast. The Ohio man gets the win. Fifth in Speedway and World Outlaw late models. Bobby Pierce leads every lap. And full restarts at the end of this race. Was involved in an accident after the checker. Bobby Pierce gets the win at Bedford. Brandon Shepard in second, and Ryan Dustin finished third. Butler Speedway is in Mike continuing to win. Trevor Medal in second, and Zach McKenzie in third. Oswego Speedway, Thunder in the Grand, 1991. Southern Ontario Springs and GLSS, 9 GLSS cars to make the trip up to Northern Canada. Dylan Westbrook with them away for win. Nick Sheridan in second, and Ryan Turner in third. July 12th, Circle City was going to have fast, but they got rained out. Jefferson Speedway had 2 seconds, and Justin Grant would get the win. Cameron McIntosh in second, Logan Seeley in third. Bristol Motor Speedway in the Summer Nationals. Tyler Erb with the win. Jonah Mark Julier in second, and Ashton White in third. Bill Cobb at the School Block late models with that Moby would get the win. Thomas Baker would finish in second, and Corey Delancey would finish in third, but that was not the call of the night. Bill Cobb, the late models from Kyle Moore would get the win. I didn't expect all this. I caught some of the videos. We start the race. Moore and Brennan were in the front row. Moore would move up high. Brennan would kind of follow him up once the flag dropped. Moore goes down towards the center of the track with Brennan and spins him out. I noticed that these guys were in the same lead, so I'm not sure if something happened prior to this race. Later on, Todd Brennan was running in the rear of Kyle Moore. Brennan would try to slide and block Moore underneath. He grabbed the checker flag for the win. This would lead to a close race incident where Brennan's car was on the top of the front of Moore's. I'm sure you guys have all seen the video or the pictures. I mean, I don't know. One race, it's over. If you want to name something after you go to make your money, back to bed to go. So, like we thought, this is Moore in the Midwest Thunder Midgets. Luke Paul would get the win. Michael Magic in second. Tyler Nelson would finish in third. Community Modifieds were also there. Snell would get the win. Jimmy Leonard would finish in second. For Shannon in third. Oswego Speedway for Thunder in the Grand, night number 2. The Southern Ontario Springs and GLSS. And Dylan Westbrook in back-to-back for Dylan Westbrook. Mike Bowman in second, and Nick Sheridan in third. Paducah had the Midwest Dirt Nationals, night number 1, with Power I 410s, but unfortunately they were rained out. Sharon Cornell late models. Bobby Pierce would get the win. Kate Miller in second, and Ryan Dustin in third. Sugar Creek Raceway, USCS. Kyle Amerson gets the win. Jeff Oliver in second, and Danny Smith would round out the podium. Tri-City Speedway for the Lucas Oil late models was rained out. Wilmot had the World Outlaw sprint cars, and Carson Macedo would get the win in dominating fashion. Buddy Kofoid in second, and David Gravel in third. Moving to July 13th in Buxton Speedway, GLSS. Again, visiting our friends up north in Canada. Darren Dryden with the win. Ryan Turner in second, and DJ Christie in third. Fremont had AFCS 410s where Caleb Henry would get the win. Trey Jacobs in second, and Zess Sabo in third. AFCS 305s. Dustin Stroop with the win. Jamie Miller in second, and Casey Zebold in third. Trucks and Sean Delaney with the victory. Jamie Miller in second, and Keith Sword in third. Welcome back, Mount Pillier in Indiana. Mount Pillier opens the gates and gets some racing here. Looks like it was right on time, like they had planned. They got the racing going and didn't stop until it was done. And a nice early night. They were very modified. Bill Lewis Dylan Woodman in second. Our guy Dustin Moore in third. Dalton Smith in fourth. And hey, there's Jared Clay rounding out the top 5. Nice runs there by Dustin Moore and Jared Clay. Modified's also there on that. Hamilton to the win. Scotty Gage second. Zach Bolton from seventh to third. Zach might be this chicken dinner. J.R. Clark Memorial Stock Cars at Lawrenceburg. Joel Andrews for the win. Gary Hughes, second. Lincoln had the Fallen Firefighters race at Geisler Memorial. On the 410s, Aaron Bollinger. Paducah International Power I 410 for night number 2, but like night number 1, that was rained out. Dixie Speedway USCS Kyle Anderson gets the win. Smith in second, and Jeff Oliver. Lawrence Speedway in Dallas with the late model Pat Strickler to the win. Jimmy White in second, and Trevor Landrum third. Goods Raceway had Junior Sprints and Rocco Ledford gets the win. Sportsman Johnson with the win. 2-7 Micro, 5 with the win. Lights, Spanner with the victory. The Sport Mods, Ty Miller gets the win. And the mini stocks, Josh. Lucasville Speedway is going to have the late models. Unfortunately, they were rained out. Oak Shade, Summer Nationals. Ashton Winger with the win. Tyler second, and Devin Shields would round out the podium. Paragon fast. Schoenberg gets another win. Will Myers in second place. Finn Haller in third. Portsmouth in the Dean Middle Memorial with High Limit. Rico Avery gets the win. Skyler G second, and Chris Wyndham in third. Tough break for Wyndham. Wyndham was leading. Him and Skyler G starting on the front row here. Wyndham slips up, and that's enough for Rico to get by and not look back. Rico gets the win. Shearing, World Outlaw Late Model, Bobby Pearson, the win. Wilmot with the World Outlaw Sprint Cars with Donnie Schatz 10-time dominance. And Donnie Schatz going to Kings Royal. Looks like he's on a mission. Seventh Kings Royal win, tying the things together. So we'll see how that goes. Donnie Schatz will win first and steal in second. Michelle Thomas for Jefferson County Speedway for second. Second. And Cannon McIntosh will round out the podium. As we're recording this on July 14th, Wayne County's going to have Summer Nationals, Carolina, Jackson, Stock Car Silver, IL, and SC models. I want to give a shout out to Victory Fuel from Throttle Punch to Lucky Lemon. Both flavors are dynamite. 12 packs and 4 packs, and even some cool merchandise as well. This week's View from the Valley, the PA Speedway champion has been decided, and as you know, Anthony Macri defends his title from 2023, winning back-to-back PA Speedway championships. Congratulations to Anthony Macri. Mount Pilgrim Speedway releases a schedule July 13th. They had mod and stocks on hand. August 10th has yet to be determined. August 30th and 31st, Jake and Jensen Memorial Race with late models, Midwest Thunder Midgets, mods, Hornets, and stocks. September 21st and 28th have yet to be determined. October 5th, the Midwest Thunder Midgets visit again with modifieds. October 25th and 26th, the Monster Mash is back. Late models, modifieds, Hornets, and stocks. Moving to Kings Royal talk at Eldora. The main grandstands for the Kings Royal are sold out. Camping sold out. The main grandstands for Saturday night's Kings Royal are sold out. Also found out that the plan was for the renovated Eldora Ballroom to have the grand opening Kings Royal weekend, but unfortunately I found out there are things that still need to be completed, and it will not be open for Kings Royal weekend. Bummer for sure.